maybe Japan's particularly like intense with this, but I think any culture which is still any culture in the world, any country which is still connected to it's still proud of its tradition and its roots, you're going to find that that's linked to language, and you can't access it, and you can't access people unless you on some levels speak the language. like even let's just take Latin America. It's quite new world. It's quite open. It's used to this history of migration in and out, people settling, but still I would say that unless you spoke, I mean, unless you could just get by in the restaurants in English, but that's where you'd be stuck at that level, and you could never like hang out and laugh even, or understand the subtleties of what's going on. You couldn't just go out to the countryside and chill out in a bar and get to know like what's going on there. You'd always be outsider and alien, and I think maybe just Japan, where you experience this even more intensely because it's even more connected to its traditions. So many subtleties, so many ways you could get something wrong, and you're never going to figure that out in English. Cool. So by picking up the language more, and we kind of spoke about that a bit earlier about your journey to picking up Japanese language, but picking up the language more helped you connect to people, and they're accepting of you being like this. I mean, I don't think there's many probably foreigners in the woods.
Hardly any. So, I mean, at most places they're accepting. They're more accepting when you toe the line, but when you challenge something or say, "Oh, what about this?" Then they'll say, "Oh, that's just you being English," or that's just the British way of doing things. And it's like, well, whether I'm British or not is kind of it's a moot point, because I'm just trying to suggest like a more efficient or rational way of doing something. It's irrelevant where you're from, really. But yeah, I think generally
it's unavoidable in Japan, really, isn't it?
Say again, sorry.
It's unavoidable often in Japan.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a stigma almost.
Yeah.
Being
younger, and also foreign. It's and then speaking up to people, and kind of, especially in a work environment, that something it's been probably, maybe it's interesting for you, a bit disappointing in terms of coming out here and making the transition. Is I thought that like in the forestry industry, where people are getting out there, like it's a tough work environment, tough conditions. We're doing well with our hands. I thought people in this industry would be a lot more like just kind of logical, like rational and like efficient, less caught up in all the bureaucratic bullshit that like salarymen are, and the whole politics around like office politics, and much less how to say, just be prepared to like work hard kind of thing, and not sit around idling and wasting time like salarymen do, just kind of fill the time with whatever with like
it's
nothing.
It's interesting that it's almost like haven't been able to get away from it.
Oh yeah, it's really a cultural thing, like the let's just fill the time kind of thing, and like it's more important to be seen to be working than to actually than the result. Like the result is almost like immaterial. It's kind of separate. So it's been frustrating to come into the environment and actually learn that, well, even forest workers they're Japanese, and they are not thinking about like what's the most efficient way we can get this work done and then go home and get on with our lives. It's more like our work is, kind of, how to say, our lives are like, we just need to shut up and do the hierarchy stuff, and even if it's inefficient, we should just do it because it's tradition and that's just how it's always been done, kind of thing.